It's time now for Uncancelled. And this is where Britain's top commentators speak out on controversial issues without the fear of the cancel culture sweeping the rest of the media. Prince Andrew, sex accuser Virginia Giuffre, has reportedly signed a deal to publish her bombshell memoirs just when the Duke thought he could make a sensational public return. It's thought Giuffre wasn't bound by a long-term non-disclosure agreement when she settled out of court with Andrew last year, leaving the door open for yet another embarrassing royal family tell-all. But it comes hot on the heels of her separate case against Jeffrey Epstein lawyer Alan Dershowitz collapsing in November after she admitted she may have, quote, made a mistake in accusing him, leaving huge question marks over her credibility. So Andrew is now enjoying increased public support in Britain in the wake of that development, not least from Star columnist and former Daily Telegraph editor Charles Moore, who yesterday said he felt the Prince might be innocent. So, Lady Victoria Hervey is Prince Andrew's biggest supporter here in the UK. And I know you feel, Lady V, like the tide is turning, don't you?
Yes.
Because you have been saying for some time...
I have now been talking about
that
this...
Giuffre has no credibility.
...for the past almost a year now.
You have, and you've done it here.
You know, I know that even you said a year ago when we first spoke, you said there's a lot of holes in her story. And you did agree with that. But now, yeah, the tide is turning.
Because you feel, because of the Dershowitz case, and obviously you've been in touch with Dershowitz throughout this, and because she had to effectively admit that she lied about him, it gives Andrew an opportunity to challenge the deal.
Sure, I mean, obviously... Is
that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, that is just one of the many things, you know, but... I mean, so many things have come to light in the past year, and a lot of evidence of the things that she said are not true, and a lot of things that will help him. And obviously Dershowitz's, you know, his apology, it just shows that her memories are not quite correct. And I think that throws everything out the window, really, as far as people actually believing her. I mean, already, obviously, the US government did not believe her because she was not in that courtroom. And she was the most vocal person, you know...
In the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, you're talking
Yes,
about.
yeah. She was not picked, was she? Because she's not a credible witness. And the US government saw her as not being a credible witness.
OK, so let's just say, because as you say, even though I disagree with you on a lot of this stuff, I did say last year that I agree that Giuffre, in lots of ways, is not credible. But I've got two big problems in terms of Andrew's rehabilitation, which I know you believe he deserves. And I am keeping an open mind, but I'll tell you what my two big issues are. Firstly, Lady V, he went to New York to spend days in the house of Jeffrey Epstein when there was a string of young ladies coming in and out after, let me just make the point, after he had already gone to jail for child sex trafficking.
But what we have to remember is the first time when Jeffrey went to jail, it was not front-page news, it was not headline news.
But Andrew knew.
He did, but he doesn't even read the newspapers. Like, he actually, seriously, like, I was very surprised, but he doesn't read any of this
Do you think it was naivety?
I think
rather than something sinister?
I think it was, I think it was complete naivety. Like, he lives in a bubble. We have to, like, somehow understand that.
The royal
he lives
bubble.
in a very different bubble to a lot of us, and completely naive. But I remember, you know, that story when it came out, and it was not a big story. It kind of just got swept away. No one was talking about it.
Because the establishment wanted to sweep the Epstein
story. And it was not front-page news.
OK, that's the first thing. The second thing is, and I know you're going to disagree with me on this, but I'm sorry, I don't trust Ghislaine Maxwell that this photo is fake. I think the photo is real. What proof do you have that the photo is fake?
You think it's real?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely, I do.
I want to have a bet with you.
Well, what evidence do you have that this photo is fake? Because even Andrew didn't say it was fake when he appeared with Make This.
No, he said it's a photo of a photo of a photo, which actually it is that.
Yeah, so that doesn't make it fake.
No, of course.
Because this was before digital photos.
No, but I'm going to tell you, so I want to clarify something, because When I've been on TV other times, people always say it's Photoshop. So when I've spoken to the person that's actually taken the photos, he took the photos, he's explained it to me how he did it, and he actually showed it to me. The last time I was in London, I met up with this person. So he took the photos of the different, Virginia, Epstein, and he cut them out with almost like a kind of a razor blade, and then put them back onto the background. It's amazing. Literally, he made it for me. It looked like a puzzle. And then he would re-photograph it, exactly like we thought, and then it's been like re-photographed 3 times.
But have you researched the circumstances of how this photo actually came into the public domain? It was actually quite coincidental.
Yeah, and the FBI,
was a journalist.
I don't think, ever even had it.
No, but that's the point.
That's this whole mystery of the FBI.
Well, indeed, but the point is, Virginia Giuffre would have had to be a genius to coincidentally have this fake photo.
But the thing is, so she didn't make it. So the guy who photographed it recently admitted to me that he actually put it together as well. But he was worried because he has a...
And there was a commercial motivation?
Well, he has a criminal record, and so he is terrified that he was going to go to jail for it. Coming forward.
But why would he do that? Why would he fake the photo?
Because, good question. He knew them and he got persuaded. They gave him a lot of different things, things that had belonged to Princess Diana. They bribed him, basically.
OK. And then this is the biggest problem for me. This is the biggest problem.
OK.
Andrew had a chance to clear his name.
He couldn't know. I mean, this is what I've tried to explain to
But he did have a chance. Dershowitz did. Dershowitz did.
But he's not Prince Andrew, like the son of the Queen of England. So we have to remember, this is such a different situation.
But he paid her a lot of money, Lady V.
Right, but it was only ever going to be
Why would he have done that if he was
It was just for the Jubilee.
Innocent?
But he did not want to do that. It was Buckingham Palace forced him. He had no choice.
OK, so just to get my head around this, because as I say, I am open-minded.
So the thing is, he always wanted to fight it.
You say the Queen, we now know, and we knew at the time, but we couldn't say publicly, the Queen had a terminal illness. She was dying of cancer. He came under massive pressure. Do not ruin your mother's final days on Earth. So you're going to have to settle this case. That's what you're claiming.
He was given no choice. That is what I know. He got zero choice, and he just really wanted to fight it because he knew he's innocent.
What now? What now? Because you will say, hand on heart, won't you, that Andrew is innocent?
Look, would I be sitting here if I didn't believe this story from the very beginning? I'm not going to go around telling people this stuff because it just doesn't look very good for me, does it? Do you know what I mean? I have to be very sure this whole time before I'm doing these interviews that I know that everything I'm saying is correct. So, and I know everything is correct.
So you know that Andrew never had inappropriate relationships with any woman under 18?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Definitely not.
And no sexual relationships with Virginia Giuffre?
No, he's never met her. And I really believe that he has never met her.
How confident is he feeling? Because he must have been delighted to open the Daily Telegraph. I know you say he doesn't read the newspapers, but to have Charles Moore, front page of the Daily Telegraph, saying he thinks Andrew is innocent, I mean, that's a bit of a game-changing moment for him, right?
Yeah, well, people are realising that he didn't want to settle. He was forced to. He had no choice. That's why it was so hard for him, this past year. He's just been, sitting there waiting.
So how's he going to clear his name now? Is it going to be a PR battle or is it going to be a legal battle? Because there's already reports in The Independent that I've just been handed saying that he could actually bankrupt himself.
She's trying to do a new book as well.
Yeah.
So we all know that first memoir that she did, I mean, I could literally debunk all of that. Literally, from the Saint-Tropez stories to everything, I could debunk that. So I don't think that any publisher is going to publish it. Her last one wasn't published because it is going to be lawsuit after lawsuit because she's not credible.
But for Andrew, though, is this because we had Megyn Kelly on earlier this week who said it's going to be virtually impossible for him to challenge the civil case in a court of law. So is this going to be a PR battle or a legal battle?
I can't really tell you what they have, but there's a lot of evidence that he is innocent.
OK. Well, look, as I say, I am going to keep an open mind. because I absolutely do believe in the philosophy of innocent before proven guilty. Personally, I think
and that's
he
why
made
it's been so
a
terrible.
massive mistake not to fight the case last
he wanted
year.
to.
I understand the pressure. I
Yeah.
understand the pressure, but this was his reputation.
Yeah.
You know, and
I know.
you can never
but
get
it was
your reputation
basically,
back.
you know, it was the Jubilee, and he was forced to. He had no choice.
Okay. Well, look, we're going to keep on this,
Yeah.
and I know you're going to keep on it. So we'll be here as new evidence
the war
emerges,
is on.
Lady Victoria Hervey. Now, of course, I do have to present the other side of the story, and want to. So, in a statement after dropping her case against Dershowitz in November, Virginia Giuffre said, "I have long believed that I was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein to Alan Dershowitz. However, I was very young at the time. It was a very stressful and traumatic environment, and Mr. Dershowitz has from the beginning consistently denied those allegations. I now recognise I may have made a mistake in identifying Mr. Dershowitz."
And how many times did she say she slept with him? 7 times or something? How do you forget that you've got the wrong person? It's not like
Fascinating
One
stuff.
time.
Lady Victoria Hervey, thank
Good
you
to see
so
you.
much.